And we're back. So, you guys wake up the next morning and set out. No problem with the giant map, I have to scroll every time.
Yep.
So yeah, you make your way from the City of Helm's Blessing towards Silvercrag. Are you going straight to Silvercrag, or are you going to the place that the court wizard marked on your map?
I mean, yeah, I guess we go to the crime scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, as you head out across the field, let's stop this tab of music. And so, as you are crossing the fields towards Silvercrag, you look out across a fairly flat landscape towards a line of trees, a path that meanders across the fields towards the outskirts of this large mining town. Yeah, as you sort of make your way to the area, like that was marked on your map that Meixlin described to you, you eventually find it a bend in the road that curves to avoid a rocky outcropping in the that would otherwise obstruct the road. And it does look like there has been at some point like some cart traffic has like gone off the road, and there's some now weathered and worn, but some ruts off the side of the road that have been kept damp by the cold weather. So yeah. Looks like you found the place.
Cool.
Cool. Alright.
I guess, first things first, just as a precautionary, I will spend 10 minutes ritual casting Detect Magic.
Okay.
Can I use my Ranger of the Wild thing to do a wisdom? I have to do a wisdom survival check, and then I track creatures. You are okay. Let me just read you the description.
Yeah, I can read it. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
roll it. So,
that's true. Yes. So you can make a wisdom survival check. You are considered proficient in survival and add double your proficiency bonus to the check. Oh, hang on. There's a way we can do this. I won't bother doing it now, but yeah, go ahead and roll. You're already proficient in survival, so go ahead and roll that, and you will add 4 to the total.
It's a wisdom?
It's just survival.
Survival.
Oh, survival. Straight up survival.
So, yeah. It automatically uses wisdom. Okay, so
wow,
that
really
is
not great.
17.
Really not great, Arya.
That's 17.
Really not great.
Okay, so
It's not awful.
finding any tracks that are over 3 weeks old in this kind of environment it's a little difficult. But as you spend this time sort of searching around, checking for disturbed foliage and signs of anything that had been here, the thing you find that surprises you isn't tracks. Instead, it's almost a deficiency of tracks. And that's the thing that makes you suspicious. Because the only tracks you can find here are human. And from the heavy booted impacts, it looks like these were made after the fact by guards looking around. But any tracks that lead away sort of like into the forest that aren't these booted tracks, I say into the forest, like towards the forest, there's no sign of them.
Huh.
But the distinct lack of anything beyond these heavy printed boots suggests that perhaps if there were any tracks, they have since been covered up by somebody who knew what they were doing.
I guess I'd tell the others
Yeah.
what I found. It seems they were actually trying to cover up, at least where they'd gone.
Well, I guess give me enough time and we can find out if it was magical in nature or not.
Does magic, like, manifest itself, like, weeks after the incident?
Only one way to find out.
If it's a long-term or permanent spell, it will, but otherwise it will not.
Oh, no, it was more like an in-game
Oh,
character.
sorry.
Yeah, and Elizabeth's response is only one way to find out.
Okay. So, your 10 minutes finishes, you complete your spell. You wander around.
Lyra do a sniff around?
Yes, certainly. Same check. Wisdom, survival. If she's not, I don't think she's proficient in survival anymore, so just roll wisdom.
Wow.
Okay.
Once again,
She
really not great.
she is using her enhanced senses, so she does get advantage.
Oh, nice.
In that case, go Lyra.
Okay, so you complete your spell, Elizabeth. You take a couple of steps around. Nothing jumps out at you.
I mean, it was 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
looking for any sort of tracks of, or not even just tracks, but any sort of anything really to stick around.
Exactly. We were just too far away. Travel time's affected us pretty badly. There's not even. I'm guessing the carts and stuff's all been moved.
Yeah, long moved away.
There is an option that we haven't really considered.
Hmm.
What if they were flying?
That's true, I guess.
Hmm.
And
How would they fly?
Yeah, for like how, but also individuals to kidnap a princess and deal with guards. However, they may have done it. Like that's a lot of people or creatures.
Could have been, well, could have been like a sleep spell, so that like magic. That would knock out everyone.
Would have to be a pretty potent one. That's a lot of people.
Well, it wouldn't be the most reassuring, but that is,
The fact that
let's
they
say.
have magic can serve anyone.
And if that were the case, there would have been, well, signs of the people collapsing. I would think that would have been a pretty noticeable thing to spot.
I'm no expert tracker, and I don't know how that like would translate, but it's just a suggestion. If nobody has any clue as to how, then I guess that one ends.
Is there any leads we could pursue actually in the tree line? Like, trying to figure out where they might have been hiding?
Surely, though, if they removed any traces of them actually this area, kind of just like gestures to the immediate area we're in, they would. Any traces of them in the forest would well hidden as well, I think, or gone for that matter.
Yeah, it seems it's weird that like It's one thing for me not to see anything, but for Lyra not to smell anything, that's pretty weird.
Arya, Lyra is attempting to communicate something with you that it's a little difficult to understand what it is that she's trying to communicate without, being able to directly understand her.
Do you want me? I can cast with animals.
It's your choice.
I would. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So
wait.
Well-
Just kidding.
Oh, you don't
can't
have,
do that.
You don't have it prepped.
I don't have it.
Doesn't Lyra just speak the languages she does?
Can understand the languages. Oh wait, but
Yeah.
I thought there was something with communicating ideas with the Path of the Shaman, but I can't remember. I need to bring it up.
Also, really not have speak with animals?
Well, could I potentially send out my own little companion to have some sort of investigate?
Yeah, it can certainly look around. You can see through its eyes
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, I'd like Scarlet to have a little bit of a search around.
give me a perception check.
And I'm assuming this relies on sight, hearing, or smell.
It does, yes.
Yeah, so she has advantage.
Okay.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh,
I can.
shit.
Nice.
The pseudo dragon's on point, guys.
Yeah, fuck. Apparently
Okay.
one more in point than Lyra. Poor
Uh,
Lyra.
Wait, didn't Lyra have advantage?
Yeah, Lyra had advantage as well,
Lyra did have advantage, yes.
but you know.
Well, the thing is, Lyra has discovered something, but is struggling to communicate what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Meanwhile, I can communicate telepathically with Scarlet. Well, she communicates.
I'm sure you do have a way of communicating. Is it Beast Bond that it is instead? Oh yeah, Beast Bond is the thing that you can use to communicate directly. You do have speak with animals.
I do. I thought it was same with speak with plants, like it was like a higher level spell, but actually it's
No, speak with animals is quite low.
yeah, it's first level.
Oh.
Do you want to retroactively switch that out then?
Yeah. I guess yeah. I'll switch it out.
Yeah, you can also ritual cast speak with animals, so you don't need to use a spell slot.
Oh, great. Anyway.
Okay.
But cause Lyra and I could talk anyway, so it doesn't.
You can't speak directly. That's the thing.
So you want me to speak directly?
Yeah,
Like,
she.
would that be easier?
Yeah, she is struggling to be able to communicate what it is.
Okay, well, I will ritual cast
Okay.
with animals.
So you ritual cast speak with animals, and you communicate with Lyra, and Lyra basically tells you the only traces I can find are smells of humans and other beasts. I don't smell goblin kin or anything like that.
I'm wondering if it wasn't goblins then.
The Scarlet sort of flaps around overhead before quickly diving to the
Oh,
ground.
yeah, can I talk to Scarlet?
Technically, you could, but she can also communicate telepathically with you. So
Yeah, but the telepathic communication is only simple concepts and images. Actually, I don't believe you can speak with animals with the pseudo dragon because the pseudo dragon's not an animal.
pseudo dragon's not a beast; she's a dragon.
She's a dragon.
She's also
My
not.
dragons are
self-explanatory.
not.
She's also celestial fey fiend or something else.
Yeah,
Because
because of the find
familiar. Because she's actually a spirit in animal form, not an actual animal. But yes, the pseudo dragon dives to the ground, maybe 80 feet away, and starts pulling at something in the ground.
Okay, gotta go over and see what she's found.
Okay. It appears to be. It was buried beneath us like a surface layer of mud and dirt, but it's what appears to be a brooch.
Wow. I guess gonna sort of loosen it, get it out, have a
Yep.
look.
You, with the benefit of opposable thumbs, yes.
Sorry, Scarlet.
You pull it out of the dirt, and your detect magic is still on.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's thing.
This has
Yeah.
magical. This has magical properties.
Wow.
The School of Magic being illusion.
Oh. Okay. In that case,
Actually, hang on. Let me double check that because I believe it's illusion. I can't remember what the spell is called. It'll be the same school as this, I think. Nope, that's not even the right spell. No, it's enchantment. Sorry, incorrect.
would I be able to identify it with an Arcana check, or do I need to do something else?
You would need the spell Identify to do that.
Well, then I will ritual cast Identify.
Okay, so you sit down for 10 minutes. What are the rest of you doing?
Sit down for 10 minutes to cast another spell.
It's great. It's good times.
And I will also give Scarlet lots of pets and praise for finding
Okay.
a cool thing.
She like yips at you.
No.
Baby dragon.
Tiny dragon.
So the two of you are you both doing like ritual casting, or is just one after the other, or?
It's one after the other, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking maybe if we climb up a tree, we can get can look a little further.
I sort of just point at Scarlet.
I mean, there's
She can go
nothing
on better.
stopping you.
But yeah, if you want to try and climb a tree, knock yourself out.
Well, I was more thinking about one of the more nimble people, but I don't
I mean,
mind
I
going
can
with
I can climb a tree. What are you looking for exactly? Just anything out of the order?
if you see a clearing or something in the distance, maybe. Although I guess they would probably have scouted it out, but we might as well double check it.
I mean, I could. Yeah, I'll do that. I mean, I'm sure I can climb a tree.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but
Touch wood.
But we saw what happened to Elrond ages back.
Yeah, touch
Well-
wood.
Admittedly, that tree was trying to punch him in the face.
Yeah, that tree was moving. And not with the wind.
What-
Literally walking.
What's your passive? Yeah, with your ranger skills and your athletics and passive acrobatics, I would say climbing this tree is not an issue for you.
Yeah, I can't imagine it would be.
Just spring
That's
up
it.
it with your elven litheness.
Local ranger destroyed by tree.
Just thup, 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 thup.
And gives everybody a view of her ass, because now she's above us.
Arya, what do your elf eyes see?
Nothing.
Give me
Arya, give me sight beyond sight.
a perception check. Oh, Father, give me sight. Cool. So sorry, what were you looking for specifically?
Grim wanted me to look for any clearings they may have been waiting at.
Okay. So you look out across the forest surrounding Silvercrag. The forest gets quite thick around Silvercrag, and then across the river there's further patches of trees. No clearings that stand out, but just across the river on the border, you can see a thin trail of smoke.
Interesting. Okay. Can I climb down and tell the others about that?
Mhm.
I think we should go check that out.
Yeah,
Probably worth doing.
how much travel away would that be?
Crossing the river and navigating through the forest, maybe a couple of hours for you with a ranger.
Okay, oh, it's across the river as well.
Yes, it's on the other side of the river. It's in the other territory.
I mean,
Oh.
it's still something worth checking out unless we find any other leads.
Yeah.
True. Well, I was more thinking this is probably going to be our way in, and if we go this way, we're probably not going back
Hmm.
to Silvercrag. But I guess there's not much that they would know that we don't know already.
The only information they might have that we don't already have is if anybody else has gone missing.
Yeah. Well, and maybe they keep tabs on the goblin and goblin population.
That's a
But I agree. We should have a look at what that smoke is.
Yeah, we should. Once I'm done with this spell, after all.
Okay. Yeah. So you finish your identify. It is a brooch of charm person.
Oh.
Interesting.
Why is it here?
What does that even mean? Brooch of charm person.
It's a brooch that lets you cast charm person.
Oh, in that sense.
Yes.
I felt like if you wear the brooch, you become charmed, but no. That allows you to charm.
other.
From the way it was trampled into the dirt, it looks like it wasn't discarded on purpose.
Hmm.
Maybe something new.
I guess the real question is who was wearing it.
Well, considering the way the things were left, I wouldn't be too surprised if somebody was let's say charmed. That
They
would
could
make
have easily
for-
charmed the princess.
That is
Yeah. And who knows what other abilities they had to deal with the guards. Did we know how many guards it were? Well, it was just a handful, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was like 2.
Yeah, so it's not like that. It's nothing crazy.
But yes,
Well-
you know the handmaiden is missing, the princess is missing, and the 2 guards.
Well, I guess thin trail of smoke's our best bet, and I don't know if we want to be barging on in.
Well, I guess we'll get.
We can do. I can sneak up on them.
Probably a good idea.
Well, I imagine we approach them a little bit because this is quite far away.
Yeah.
Admittedly,
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
obviously.
I
Well,
don't know
yeah,
how
You get
go-
far.
closer.
We'll get relatively near and then sneak in. God.
I also as well. I'm not sure how far out their safety net goes if they have one. Early warning system. So you should probably be careful way earlier than we think.
Mm.
That is true.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for silver thread.
But overall, that clearing is probably our best bet for now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. So you
Seize
guys,
discretion and keep your eyes open.
you
Indeed.
you leave the so-called crime scene. You're avoiding Silvercrag then.
Yeah.
now?
I don't
For
think there's
now.
anything that they're gonna tell us at the moment that we don't already know.
Well, we could. I guess we can head there a little later if we
If
need to.
pan out, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's if we don't get anything, whatever this little trail of smoke ends up.
Okay.
it's not bad.
So you head out into the forest. After a couple of hours of walking, traveling, you'd find it hard pressed to find this column of smoke in the middle of this thick forest if it weren't for your ranger.
Hello.
Nice.
But eventually, you stumble into this small clearing, which is surrounded by, or stumble upon, rather than stumble into. You stumble upon this clearing that, basically, it's not a natural clearing. Like it's a number of the trees have obviously been like felled and put to use. And the thing that they've been used for is fairly obvious because basically in the middle of this small clearing is a wooden cottage.
Interesting. Is there... So... I'm assuming that there's, like, windows?
Yeah, there's a few windows on the outside.
Can I attempt to sneak up and begin?
You certainly can. Give me a stealth check.
Can I do pass out a trace as well?
You can certainly...
I would like to say it's dangerous to go alone. Take this, and I will hand you Scarlet.
Okay.
Just in other words, take her with you because then I can see through her eyes and therefore
Oh.
know if you're in danger.
I mean, you're gonna be able to see me.
I don't know, just in case we can't see you.
Not if you're good at stealth.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
So you cast Pass Without Trace and sneak. Are you taking your companion with you?
sure. Well, maybe not actually.
Okay, just
I'm
you.
just gonna go and take a peek through the window, so.
Okay. Okay, give me a stealth check.
What the?
Oh.
Oh no!
That's still a 19.
But it's a natural one!
Yep.
The fact that it's still a 19 though.
Okay.
We all
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, God.
Natural 19,
So-
baby.
It's fine.
That is highly unfortunate.
It is highly unfortunate.
You sneak off, come up against the wall of the cabin, peer in through the window. The inside of the cabin seems kind of as you'd expect. It seems to have two rooms, one quite large, one fairly small. The room you can look into is the large room. It's got a table, no, not 4 chairs. Table and 2 chairs, as well as a small stool. Yeah, basically this looks like a combined kitchen and sort of living area for whoever lives here. As you're about to sort of like start like peering further in, something walks across in front of the window and you have to quickly like plant yourself up against the back wall. No sooner do you do so than the front door opens and a human male steps out. Steps out into the sunlight, is like sort of quietly whistling under his breath, and he basically like walks out to towards the edge of the clearing, which is not too short a distance away. Doesn't notice that you're there. Promptly proceeds to undo his belt and take a large piss.
Oh God! I don't want to see this. This is not what I signed up for.
He thinks this is a peasant's cottage.
We don't know that.
Well, that's the penalty for your natural one. You watch as a man takes a massive whiz.
Wow.
God.
I mean, there are worse penalties to get for a natural.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a 19. It's still enough to beat his passive perception, so it's a failure with something humorous happens.
Fair.
Arya's just like,
You're just like desperately like trying not to look at it. Like, nope, don't want to see this. He finishes what he's doing and sort of walks up to the side of the house, picks up an axe from the side of the house, places a log on the stump, raises the axe above his head, and starts to cut wood.
well, is there anything else I see in there?
You peer around the inside. Not from this angle. Just you can see into a large open room. That's all you see.
I want to go inside, but I'm not sure if that's the smartest idea.
It's your
Can
choice.
I attempt to go inside? That may be really stupid.
Sure. I will say, due to the way that he's standing in front of the door, you're going to need a distraction in order to slip in unseen. Even with Pass Without a Trace, you're going to have to literally
Okay.
walk right in front of him.
Okay, quick, Scarlet. Go make a noise over there. Can she like fly? Can I like tell?
Yeah.
Can
Wait.
I communicate with her?
You can try.
I mean, you could talk to her. She understands common, and then
Yep.
she could
Oh, okay.
telepathically communicate simple ideas back to you.
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna tell her to go over to the other side of the clearing and break a branch up.
Okay. Okay. So the pseudo dragon like flies off to the other side of the clearing and like disappears for a few moments, and you start to hear just like snap, snap. The man who's like busy like cutting the wood sort of like looks up, looks around, doesn't seem to think very much of it, and goes back to what it is that he's doing.
She needs to make a bigger distraction.
I mean, are we? What's the thing? Assuming that I was.
And leave Arya to it.
Well, no, hang on. Assuming that.
What is
Since,
the
since-
Yeah.
yeah. No, assuming that I was, within. I was able to hear because I was, hearing through Scarlet's senses.
Mm-hmm.
I can make a distraction.
You could make a distraction as
I
a
could make a
person,
distraction.
yes.
So could I? Okay, I'd like to do an illusion.
Okay.
Off into the forest. I'd like to make an illusion, which is the sound of a bear roaring.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's gonna send him back into the cabin.
Yeah. I mean,
So you're making the sound of a
Well-
bear roaring.
Okay, maybe not sound of a bear roaring. That is a bit much, isn't it?
Well, that was your first instinct. So
I mean, yeah, it was my
I
first.
feel like we
instinct,
should go
so,
with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
sound of a bear roaring.
You
Badly.
the sound of a bear roaring echoes throughout the forest. Sort of like looks up from his work, is a little more trepidatious. He is momentarily distracted. It does look like he wants to go back inside. Arya, do you want to take that chance?
Gah! Damn it, Cav.
I tried.
still want to go in. I want to go in so bad. Yeah, fuck it. We're gonna go inside.
Okay. So
This is gonna end badly.
in the moment of distraction, you push open the door and slip inside. No sooner do you make it inside and move a few steps, though, the door behind you opens and he's beginning to step back inside.
Can I hide? Did he see me?
You can certainly try. It is going to be very difficult to succeed, to the point where I'm going to give you disadvantage on your stealth check, but you can certainly try and hide.
Alright, I have passed out a trace. Plus 10.
It does
Fuck
not make you
Arya.
invisible, but...
Don't do this to me again! That's not
That's
great.
22. That's 22.
Well,
Better.
it's also with disadvantage, so...
Oh yeah, you've got to roll
And again.
One more go.
Okay.
so
That's
22.
22.
Worst.
So... despite the fact that this is a tiny cabin, you basically manage to, like, dive out of sight behind, like, a cupboard as he steps into the room.
Oh my god.
And I think
Stress.
that's what we'll call it.
Oh my god.
God.
Wow.
The stress is real, y'all.
You just gotta Skyrim your way out of there. It's fine.
Yeah. It's easy to just sneak up behind him, put a bucket over his head, and then you can just walk around like normal.
Yeah. Fine, right?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Excellent. So,
God damn it.
well,
D&D is not Skyrim.
welcome back to Second Age, everyone.
Cliffhangers.
Yep.
I'm like hiding in a cabin with a man who may or may not be just a normal peasant.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you might just be a normal dude.
He might just be like living his life, cutting some wood. And here we are. Fucks.
So, well,
I'm gonna give this poor guy a heart attack, Arya.
Not if he gives me one first.
well, after that session, yeah, I think I'm going to change things up for the outro, because we had enough of 2 years of everybody having a round of suggestions, and I trust you all to speak up if you've got anything to add these days. So,
Yay.
if anyone has anything they want to say about the session, what you enjoyed, what you're looking forward to, what you've learned, any of that, now is the time.
That was one heck of an introduction for Elizabeth.
It was.
Just straight away.
Yeah, no more trusting drinks handed to us by strangers.
I
First rule
I
of
love how we all
divorce.
called that as well. I don't know if Ferrous did that because we called it or if it was already planned. I feel like it was already planned. But
What, you mean the...
the drink, yeah.
Oh, it definitely was, because the moment he started drinking it, I gave Minnie a whisper that was, yeah, you're now charmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, Minnie, you played that super well.
Yeah,
So
that
gra-
was really
I was-
good.
Yeah, that was.
I was happy how that turned out.
Because I love how it first. I don't know what this says about us or you or our perception of you.
Yeah, at first we didn't think anything was that wrong.
No!
We were totally not suspicious at first.
Well, it started off with just like, okay, it's saying that you trust somebody's opinions that's like new to the group. I was like, okay, that's like a kind of grim thing to do. It's a little weird, but it's
And it's kind of a weird Minnie thing to say, so.
Yeah.
Right?
We were kind of just like, I mean, this is a bit slightly odd, but nothing too odd. Then you got creepy and we were like, oh, never mind.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
More than that.
Oh,
Yep.
oh no.
Look, I built it up slowly. I felt like that was good.
Yep.
It's good.
Yeah, it was great.
It was pretty funny.
God, of all the people it could have been as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you get to choose who you were charmed, or did Rob?
well, I was given the choice, but I was like, basically anyone would be extremely interesting due to different reasons.
So I
Yeah,
diced for
I
it.
was like, just roll a dice, and then
Oh, okay.
Okay.
because I was like, Arya would be interesting because of the old rivalry. Kelariis would just be a stereotype.
Yeah. Honestly, do you reckon it would have taken us longer to realize if it had been Kelariis?
No.
Probably not.
I think we would have realized
Well,
about as quick.
I think you would like have struggled more to think. Is this like actually in character, or is this just Minnie making jokes?
Yeah, that is also true.
Yeah, because that ship has been a joke for like ever.
It's Kelariis is his senpai.
Senpai, notice me.
To be fair, Kelariis and Grim do work together quite well as like a power combo for fighting. Like in
Yeah, they do.
combat,
Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely.
which is always pretty fun.
yeah, it's quite nice.
I was just
Also,
getting used to that whole encounter as well, because I was just sat here thinking, just like, yep, this is really barking up the wrong tree.
Yep,
There's a
Hey,
fly in that rainbow.
yep, but that doesn't matter.
That's
Not
it,
when you're charmed.
Yeah,
Nope.
it doesn't
that's-
matter what the
that's a-
preference of the other person is. It's
Oh,
what
yeah,
your
obviously.
preferences are.
But that's also why Elizabeth was getting so creeped out.
Poor Elizabeth.
Like,
She's
level one. Reason 1, that's technically her boss.
Yeah, there was a there
Exhibit-
was some
yeah,
freaky,
yeah.
Exhibit B. It's a dude.
Yeah,
That's-
Exhibit C, he's not normally like this.
but oh well.
It was a
Besides
attempt at
all-
targeted humiliation.
Hmm.
I feel like it was embarrassing, but not in a public scale.
Yeah.
No.
No, it was just like mildly embarrassing for you.
Yes.
But
But the problem is, as soon as you know that like it was magic, it's kind of like, well,
yeah,
you can't really do much about it.
Well, had
Yeah, but
had you been
besides-
had you been regular individuals, you might perhaps not have picked up on that.
yeah.
But
Sure.
because you are exceptional,
Also, we had dispel magic, which
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which most
so it
people
took care
would
of it
not
right
have.
away.
Be gone.
oh well. But besides that, just promoting the heck out of the guild is good.
Yep.
trying to recruit random guard captain who was just having a friendly conversation with you while you waited.
Yep.
That's
He was just trying to be a nice guy, and you were like, "Hey, you want to join my
Well, like,
mercenary company?"
well, I was like, well, if you ever get bored, it's the kind of, it's like the equivalent of handing someone a business card.
Yep.
Except we don't really have a business. Like I have ideas for a business card, but I haven't gotten around to doing them yet.
Excuse
Wow.
me.
It's-
Also, Minnie, how did you do that emblem? Because that looks really cool.
Oh, I did that like ages ago. I can't remember how I did it, but that's like pre. Like I have a whole folder of stuff for the Amber Eagle. I haven't actually. Well, people
Could-
can't see it yet, of course. In
Because
the
it dawned on me during the session, like, oh, maybe I probably should have made like I probably should have had ideas for a family crest, shouldn't I?
yeah, because that's what you need. A
Yeah.
family crest. Well, I
Yeah.
guess it's nice to have.
Also, it's the kind of thing her family would have. Because they'd put it on their shields.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
also,
I mean, you have time to figure that out. Though.
Yes.
I've got time.
and I think all in all, the session went kind of smooth-ish.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
It went well.
Yeah, I liked it.
We had a lot
Good.
of distractions, but otherwise,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
par for the
That's
Yeah.
course.
that's
I mean,
us in a
D-
nutshell.
distractions are perfectly fine.
Yeah,
That's just how
we are very easily distracted people. That's
but we'll
Just-
we'll
That's
get
our MO.
we'll get that. We'll improve that eventually again.
Yeah, it was nice to be back in this world.
Yeah.
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 And I will say, like, I'm sure that you did this on purpose first, but there's a lot of parallels between the first thing we ever did in second and like this quest.
Yeah.
Yes.
More
Oh yeah, like I
Yeah, I've been enjoying
blatantly
it.
pointed out.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I will confess, it didn't start like that, but when I realised what I was drawing up, I was like, oh, okay then. Let's see how far we can take this.
Yeah.
You're very, very slowly dropping the princess into a cauldron now.
You know what?
No.
You know what's gonna happen? No. You know what? You know what's gonna happen now? We're gonna start like properly searching, and we're gonna find the handmaiden, and the handmaiden's gonna go, "Oh, she was taken to some other place."
Not the handmaiden.
But wait, but we already know there was no hand.
What?
What?
No,
No,
because
she
there was-
was with...
Oh wait, the handmaiden was with them?
Yes.
Yeah, and...
Yeah.
Oh, the way I
Yeah, it was a
understood it
handmaiden
is...
and 2 guards.
Oh, I understood. The way I understood it, instead of a handmaiden, there were 2 guards, but it's both.
No, it's both.
Hey, we should have asked for looks of the handmaiden as well. That's fine.
Well, hopefully she's not dead.
Well, I assume
Hopefully.
if we find the princess, then she'll be able to tell. Also, I think we're just gonna look for the thing that is in the goblinoid. And we should probably be okay.
Also true. Well, that's assuming that it's only goblins that are doing this.
Yeah.
It's true. However,
Or if
somebody,
goblinoids are doing it in the first place.
but if somebody is freely walking among the goblins, or among everything, then there's probably something up.
Oh,
But well, that is for next session, I guess.
That is for next session.
Indeed. Well, it's been a while.
Oh my
but
god, we actually get to earn experience.
You do. Yes.
Yep.
So, I actually need to come back on how much experience you guys earn because I haven't actually had the chance to load it up yet. But yes, you will get to note experience.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
Won't be a whole lot because we didn't actually fight
No.
anything, but whatever.
yeah. So, it's been a while. It's nice to be back. But, thank you all for playing. Thank you for watching. And, we'll see you all next time.
Bye.